Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, a member of the EA Creator Network. As part of this kinda early access opportunity, I've received the pack of Enchanted by Nature free of charge. Thanks for watching. Okay, let's get into brass tacks. Now, of course, as I said, this is a kind of early access opportunity. Not really, because the really big players got early access, I don't know, weeks ago and made all their videos and put them out last week. So basically all the reviews have been done. All of the looking through cast, build, buy, all that stuff has been done. So what I'm going to focus on this video is during those videos, there was a concern about a couple of major bugs, right? One of them is the new indoor houseplants. Apparently they would just disappear when you decorate with them, when you place them. They'd disappear, right? Or they would drop down through the planter and the table and everything else and just kind of fall. So we're going to look and see if they fix that. The reviews and stuff that went out last week, that was on a sort of beta or alpha copy. It's not finished. So there are a couple of weeks during which they can fix things if it's small enough and they can figure out what's wrong. We're going to look at the career. Because the career had a major issue where at level 6, it's a 10-level career. At level 6, it branches off. You can choose these two different paths from that point forward. But what happened was, after you chose, instead of moving on to level 7 for your next promotion, you moved on to the end of the career. So everything between 6 and the end of the career was lost. Now, it was there. It was set for programming, but it didn't actually, you don't get to do it. You're over. Your career's over. I mean, you can keep working, stay at level 10, but as far as working towards it, it's over. Now, some people might see that as a benefit. I do know that. But technically, it doesn't work. Those are the things we're going to look at today. And we started here with a house that I built in Nordhaven as a early jump on building for this new pack. As you saw, we kind of moved from there. I moved it into Inniscreen to what I think is the coolest lot in the entire package, and is the tree lot. Why they didn't actually build Inniscreen as like that pond in the middle with just 5 lots and trees around it, so everything was a tree like that connected by a bridge. It's truly the most magical part of Inniscreen. So they did one. Why did you do one? Why would you do one? And then 4 regular lots. What for? You really want to make this place stand out. You really want to make it something special. But okay, I digress, because we're not doing that sort of review. I have moved my family. This is actually my eco-living family. It's a family I use for eco-living. I've moved them here into this build in Innisgreen in the treehouse. It is Josh and what's his name? I don't remember. And their kid. Right? So what? Josh is the one I was playing with primarily. He's the one that I take through the career. Okay, and then once we get into kind of the dining room table here, that's when I start to grab our first planter. So I'm going to put 2 of these planters inside the house and 1 of them outside, because I wanted to see if there was a difference. Like, would they work outside better than inside? Spoiler alert, they do. Okay, I had no problems whatsoever with the outside planter. Which again is kind of another spoiler alert that I did have problems with these inside planters, but I'll show you what I did to fix it after, when we kind of get there, as we kind of go through this. There's a large selection of planters. There's a large selection of plants to go into them that you can do through build mode. You can see here the little planter that I put out of doors, so we could keep an eye on it out there, compared the 2. I'm going to show a picture of this place, at least from the front. I will eventually get this up, probably this weekend, this particular build, on the gallery, and do a build tour of it. But for now, we're still kind of half and half. Still got like the old stuff and the new stuff kind of mixed together. Now, you can see right off the bat, after I left build mode on the table there, the plant had disappeared, right? The one outside is still here. But the plants inside on the table and in the corner right there, both disappeared, both gone. So one thing you can do, this is what I tried to see if it would work. You can buy these plants actually in live mode. So you can click on the planter, click on whatever says there, purchase house plant, $240, I think it is. And then it gives you the full selection of all the plants and it places it there. So it's kind of rare that we can buy things like that in build mode. I mean, in live mode, right? They're typically thought of as build mode items, but you can. And that's what I did is I went ahead and replaced them through live mode and they were fine from there on out. They did not disappear. They didn't fall through the cabinet. Well, they're fine until they died, much like real life from neglect. I kind of forgot about them. I did. And I guess, as you know, without like food and water and care, they die and they start to put off a green odor and all you can do is throw them away. That's really all you can do. You cannot revitalize them. You cannot bring them back from the dead. Not even Grimm can do it. So you just snatch it up, throw it into the garbage. But they did last. They did last until they died a natural death. Out here, I thought it was real cute. I did set up some bookshelves real quick. I really love these bookshelves. And there's a bunch of slots on there for stuff. And I did my reading area outside. Okay, and then we're going to choose our career. We're going to check out the career path. This took forever. It took forever to figure this, not to figure it out, but just to go through it. It takes a long time. I did choose the natural path career, which is basically an at-home doctor using alchemy and apothecary stuff or something to make you better, right? Now, most of the things you have to do are like that. Go find somebody and kind of recharge them, and by throwing shit at them, throwing some glitter at them. He loved it. We got a hug. We did get a hug. I think actually I told him to give him a hug. They're good friends, right? So it's stuff like that. Research on the computer. Coming up, we're going to see how you act as a doctor, how the doctor works. Now, we'll say real quick here, what I'm doing is you can't use the stall, right? We can't operate the stall ourselves, but I am an apothecary guy, right? So what I'm going to do is set up, and what I end up doing is setting up a little outside store that I'm going to use with the business and hobbies pack to run as an at-home business. So not only am I kind of the doctor, but there'll also be a store where you could come in and buy those potions. As a doctor, you'll see coming up. We'll get to that, but that's kind of what's going on here is I'm building an outdoor kind of store in order to run as an apothecary since we can't actually run the stall ourselves. Now, this is a real intermediate sort of look. This is not what it ends up looking like. This is kind of where I got it during this video session. The actual build, like the picture coming up at the end, you'll see more of what it looks like, kind of as I imagined it, at the time. But that's where I got it. And I went through and you can purchase a lot of the ingredients you need for the apothecary skill. It's cheaper to find them. It is, believe me, or raise them, grow them yourself, because you don't make that much as a doctor. That's the first thing I learned. If you get sick and you go to the doctor, $1,500. Someone gets sick and comes to you like 300. That's what you earn. Oh, and let me tell you something right now, because we're coming up on it. So bad luck is in this game. I'm going to call this a glitch. Okay, he made pancakes and he set the stove on fire. I know it's not his first time cooking. And I put it out. I almost burned down the whole house. And his boyfriend almost set on fire too. Because his boyfriend comes back here to put it out, right? And almost sets himself on fire. We lost the stove. We lost the fridge. We lost that cabinet. I think the plant lived through it, I think. Because see, it's not a green fog, coming up off it or anything. Oh, there he is. He almost burned up. See, right? So anyway, I'm like, okay, that's over. I replaced everything. They still need to eat. They're like starving. So I had this guy go to make pancakes again. What do you think happened? Do you think he set everything on fire 2 times in a row? You think right. That's ridiculous. That is way overpowered. This is another Murphy bed situation where every time you tried to go to bed, you died. Okay? Every time you tried to operate that Murphy bed, it just beat the shit out of you until you were dead. Same thing. You want to eat? Sorry. you better order pizza or eat cereal or something, because this thing is going to continue to burn again. And look, and gives you that little black 4-leaf clover, so you know that the reason why your house is burning down for the second time in like 5 sim minutes, it's because you just have a bad luck day. It's just a bad day. I've had a lot of bad luck in my life. I've never had my house burn down twice in 10 minutes. Never. Finally, I have his boyfriend cook something. We have some French toast. It turned out fine because his boyfriend has good luck today. And I don't even know why he had bad luck. I really don't. He was in balance. Supposed to keep him in balance, and then that will make things better. And he was in was in a good mood and shit. And anyway, he still got bad luck. Almost died. Boyfriend almost died too. So I think right now, mostly just trying to get ahead in the natural living skill, which this career ties real heavily almost into like the nomad, the nature nomad thing. In order to get ahead in the skill, you can read, which he never wanted to do. I mean, never. We hardly got any skill build from reading unless it was part of his job that day. Also, research on the computer was the same way. Again, if it was like part of his job, then he would kind of do it. But if I sent him to do it, no, he didn't want to do it. Throw that book down, get up and walk away. And I'm not kidding. Took the book, put it away, and walked off. It was having nothing of it. But you can forage like he's doing here. The great secondary benefit of foraging is that you can get stuff for the apothecary career. So you can find stuff for that. That's great. Save some money, right? The other that's where I'm trying to have him read, right? I'm trying to make him read to learn what he needs to learn. It didn't work. There he goes. See, I'm not reading this shit. What the hell's the matter with you? I don't like to read. I want to be a doctor, not a librarian. So I would have him sleep on the ground. That's the other big thing you can do in this natural living thing is you sleep on the ground and you actually earn skill building while you're asleep by sleeping on the ground. You can also bathe in water and I don't remember. Something else. There's 4 things you can do or something. Finally, we get up to level 2 so we can see patients at our home. Now, if I was really playing this, this is the part I would do at least sometimes because it was the funner part of it. Mostly I did work from home because there was less to do, so I could focus more on skill building so I could advance in my career quicker. That's a tip. That's your tip, right? You want to advance fast? Work from home and just study all the time to build your skill, and you'll get ahead. We did see this guy. It took a long time to see patients, and it's going to feel very familiar. If you've been playing The Sims for 10 years, like I have, then a lot of these mechanics and the UI feels very familiar, and even the things you're doing, because you ask him questions, you kind of identify his problem, and then you either have to give him an elixir from your inventory or you have to go make it. In this case, I did have to go make it. I originally had that elixir in my inventory, but I'd already given it to our boyfriend who'd already gotten that disease, right? Which, if there's one thing you're going to get in Innis Green, it's a disease, okay? The place is some kind of, you can see how much we got paid. They're 3 something, right? All day work plus the ingredients for that shit? No. Anyway, move to Innis Green if you want to get VD and spend all your time at the voodoo doctor here, mixing up stuff with small animal bones and shit he found in the ground. Because that's where I found most everything in the ground. You can see how it kind of was rolling through some promotions there or starting to build our way to the top. Because I wanted to get up here to, of course, level 6, where we chose the apothecary kind of branch. The other one was something like life coach, and I don't know. I read it and I thought that sounds like way too much like some sort of YouTube influencer, just BS. Watch me live my perfect life on Instagram and I'll tell you how to be happy too. No, I'm not going to do that. But I will make some pretend medicine out of leaves and dirt and frogs ground up in a little bowl and feed it to you for $300. I'm happy to do that. So that's the path we took. You can see here, I really had trouble deciding. I don't think I really did. I think I was just kind of thinking, what is this? What is this? What is this other path? What is this wellness coach stuff? Tried to choke off the profanity there. No, it was kind of building up. Okay, so we go through and we're at level 6. We're going to go to level 7. Now, up until this point, when you would hit level 7, or when you're supposed to go to level 7, you would just jump ahead. Like I said, jump to level 10, right? Jump to level 10. But didn't. When it was time to advance to level 7, we advanced to level 7. Now, here's the ironic thing. This is the crazy thing. I don't know what happened. I actually lost all the video from this point. There wasn't a lot left. It was the crazy thing. I guess the rest of this day, I'm at work that day. I don't know how I turned it off or why. My thought is I must have had to stop for some reason to go do something. And then when I came back, I forgot to turn the recording. And you can kind of see what we need to do there, get to level 7 of our different sort of skills, which is basically indicative of where you are in your career, right? So it did work for me. It did work for me. And I think it probably does. This is a really big part of this pack. There's only like 3 major parts to this pack. Well, one major part, that's fairies. One middling major part, that's this career. And then one minor part, which I consider the nomad thing, the nature of nomad. So I do think they fixed it. I don't think they fixed the houseplant part, pot yet. No. If the plants live, that might be more expensive than build mode. If it is, cheat yourself the money. If you don't know how to cheat money, hit Control Shift C. Hit Control Shift and C. At the same time, a little box pops up along the top. Type money, space, and then whatever amount of money you want. So if you want to put in 4 house plants, it's going to cost you essentially $1,000. Put in 1,000. Want to cheat yourself the money, get yourself some house plants too? Because I think $240 is kind of outrageous for a house plant. Hell, I can get one for like $5 at the grocery store, which is why, you don't feel very guilty for killing the damn thing. It's only $5. I don't know. I feel a little guilty. It's a living thing too. It is. Don't write me. So many messages about houseplants that have feelings too. Don't. I know they do. And that's why I don't have them anymore, because I know I'll kill it. Or no, I would. And for this video, here at the end, you can see, the front, couple of pictures of my cottage as it stands right now. This will be the first thing that I upload to the gallery coming up in a couple of days, along with a build tour of it. And then we'll probably just jump into maybe a little bit of Let's Play with this pack. I don't know. I did so much for this video, but I haven't done any fairies yet. So I would kind of like to try out fairies, kind of see how they work. I don't know. We'll see where I go from there. I might not. I mean, I've got a lot of builds to kind of work on and finish, so I might do some build videos. I'll just have to decide. I'm not going to do any more reviews. I think you can see it with what is out already and what you know about it. Houseplants partially don't work. Okay, they don't. The career seems to work fine. Everything I've seen about the fairies so far says they work fine so far. Like I said, they've not been integrated by anybody so far with all of, well, you know what? I think they were. I think someone did do cross-pack compatibility out there somewhere on YouTube. I think I saw a little thumbnail for it. So if they had all the packs installed, that should tell you whether or not the fairies did work with all the packs, but I think they do. I do think they do. So far, I haven't seen any problems there. So you'll just have to look at it and say, okay, it's $40. So, well, in the US, it's $40. Whatever it is comparably in your local currency compared to your local economy, keep that in mind and just decide, if you feel like it's worth it or not worth it, or wait for a sale. that was it. And that's it for now. Please hit like, subscribe, and notify. And until next time, thanks for watching.